K-pop Demon Hunters just blew up on Netflix, the songs are on top of Spotify charts, and when I've asked you what I should ask to the creators of the film, the #1 question was...
Everybody's asking, what about the sequels or prequels? We want to know everything, we want more of this.
And I was expecting an answer like, we cannot really say, but actually, the answer was surprisingly juicier than that.
There's a lot, there's obviously a lot of story.
So is a sequel already brewing? A prequel? Maybe a full series? Will we still ride with Rumi, Zoe and Mira? Is Gina still alive? And what's the deal with that 3-hour-long director cut and the leaked storyboards that supposedly reveal Rumi's backstory?
I think there's a leak, there's a version of it out there.
Stick around because we'll answer all of these questions, answer most of these questions, and we'll unpack everything the directors hinted at.
This is what it sounds like.
What's something you would enjoy and be thrilled to explore more that maybe you didn't have time in 90 minutes?
Oh gosh, yeah, we boarded a lot of the origins of how the girls came together, like how did they act in front of each other when they first met each other, and Rumi's backstory. I think there's a leak, there's a version of it out there that one of our story artists boarded and is kind of out there in the world. So I know that a lot of people have seen that.
In this scene, we see Rumi in distress being attacked by what seems like a monolith, maybe her father's tombstone. What looks like a version of Gima shows her something about her past. Her parents, they seem to both love her. What's surprising is that her demon father gives Rumi a blue flower that turns into her sword to kill demons. Good writing is all about rewriting, and in animation a lot of the story is usually explored in the storyboards. Also keep in mind that this storyboard is not canon, but it gives us the most official insight we can have about what an origin story can be.
It's totally legit.
Now take over the comment section and write your version of Rumi's backstory. It's a great writing exercise that you're gonna love if you're a fan or if you're a storyteller.
Happy fans, happy honeymoon.
There's also this misconception that there's a director's cut or something, that like we made the movie 3 hours long and then trimmed it down. Like that never happens in anime. It's hard enough just to make this one cut.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. So this, we don't put in work where we don't need it. But there's a lot of like unanswered questions and unexplored and unexplained things. And I think our audience is used to long form storytelling. We have so many series that feature like individual stories. But like Chris was saying, like ultimately, even a really fleshed out backstory of Mira and Zoe were not fully, they weren't completely necessary to track Rumi's story. And so we had to make the decision to pull those out.
I think from the start, Maggie had a really clear sense that she didn't want this to be an origin story movie where you watch these young girls as trainees and see all of their early days and the forming. She wanted to meet them in their prime and have it be a story about something that's unfolding, maybe when they feel like they're at the peak of their career already. And as soon as she said that, I was like, that's really interesting. That's kind of what I would rather see than training. And we actually boarded a lot of that, I guess you could call it like origin story stuff. And the movie just kept kind of rejecting it. Like we'd cut it in, as Maggie said, in editorial. You'd watch it and you'd want to be interested by it, but it was like, God, this is not what this movie needs right now.
Even the story of like what her parents, went through, that ultimately doesn't really matter either, is how we, decided, because even if it was a case where the two parents were in love and they created her, it doesn't take away her shame, which are the patterns. And, it doesn't mean that she can be open to her hunter friends about it. It doesn't change that fact. So it did feel unnecessary, for it to be existing in this movie, but there's a lot that can exist.
It seems like a total cop-out, but I think kind of what Maggie said, which is it took a long time to figure out what pieces of this big story fit into one chunk to make a good story that's theatrical story. And so I think we're probably wary to commit to different avenues because there are so many, but for us it'd be our own journey as storytellers to figure out if there's a chapter 2, what are the most compelling and relevant, because we could go on forever, trust me, there's so much lore. And so I think, yeah, at the end of the day, it's kind of it's a journey that we want to figure out too.
You will be hunters.
Thanks for watching, and if you love storytelling, click on this video to keep learning. I'm Pietro, this is Right for Animation, and I'll see you there.
Hey, this is the men's bathhouse. Get out of here!